How can a Japanese martial art help your Agile transformation? Hey, I'm Mike, the Agile coach from Surge Management. Today we're going to go through the history, the definition, the agility context, and an example of what is SHU-HA-RI. SHU-HA-RI formed the philosophy of Aikido. The idea was that towards mastery, a student would go through three distinct phases: Shu, Ha, and then Ri. Shu means obey. The idea is that you would have one teacher and you would learn one form. You would learn all the traditions around that one form and you would follow the rules of your teacher. Ha would be about bending or flexing the rules. You would learn more than one form and you would take on more information from other teachers. Your teacher that you have chosen through Shu would help facilitate the conversations and the learning from other areas. Ri means transcend. The idea is to transform out of form. It's about breaking away from all of what you've been taught before to create something new, something bespoke, something specific for you that suits your needs and wants. From a martial art point of view, you would become a teacher. You would move on to the next phase. You would have your own style. And your teacher from Shu and Ha would help support and coach you through that. So what has that got to do with agility? Well, agility is a mindset. And the journey that you're on does go through stages. One way of helping teams and companies understand the transformation of this journey is to look at it in three distinct stages, similarly to how the Japanese Aikido martial art works. We can look at this as Shu, learn the rules; Ha, bend the rules; Ri, break the rules. Right? So from an agile point of view, we could learn one specific methodology. Take Scrum, for instance, or Kanban. It doesn't actually matter which one you choose, but you would learn that 100%. You would follow the rules, hopefully with permission, and you would get to a point where you understand that, and you could understand what is working and what's not working. You would flow into Ha, where you would understand what you could take in from another methodology or another practice or another tool. You'd understand that from a Ha point of view, it's about values and principles. It's not about processes and tools. So Shu could be thought of as processes and tools, Ha as values and principles. When a team or an organization moves into Ri, they've really mastered those processes and those methodologies, and they've created their own specific, bespoke practice for themselves. Now, why is this important? Because no process is perfect. No process or tool works 100% for everybody. The reason why agile transformations fail is because people try to take on what somebody else is doing. You've chosen the Spotify model. That Spotify themselves have said, do not copy us. This was our model, and it's changed. They've changed significantly from when the first case study came out. And yet still people are trying to emulate the Spotify model. Ri is about creating something, transforming your organization into something that's very bespoke towards yourself and the problems you solve, the customers you serve, right? It's not about copying and learning from others. That's Shu. So once you've understood how to do something, you need to understand why you do it and then recreate through continuous development what it is you actually need to solve your problems. So we're going to go through a quick example. We're going to use stand-up, right? So I think stand-ups have been overused by a lot of people, and there's a lot of Scrum Masters Agile facilitators, Agile coaches out there who will basically tell you what you must do, always do, right? There's, say for instance, a Scrum Master comes to a new team and says, hey, you're not collaborating as much. Do you want to give a go at having stand-ups daily? And let's assume the team has said yes. So the coach or Scrum Master has permission and the team has agreed to it. That Scrum Master may come along and say, right, we're going to have daily stand-ups, be in front of a physical board, only the team's going to talk, right? You're going to touch your post-it note every single time. Fantastic. This is SHU, right? The team's now learning the ins and outs of the tradition of a daily stand-up, right? Once they fully understand that and start understanding the reasons behind that, they move into HA-RI. They start manipulating the stand-up. For instance, they may have it twice a day. Only people who actually have something to say may say something, right? These things may change over time, and that's great. They're going to bend the rules and see what actually works for them in their circumstances. Once they master stand-ups, it's not up to Scrum Masters to tell them what works and what doesn't work. They should be supporting them through their development. There's something that works specific for them. I've had teams who have scrapped the stand-up altogether. They realize that the value of a stand-up is open, honest collaboration and visibility of the task they're doing at the time. And because they completely trust each other, they just stand up and walk over to talk to the next person. They have a quick stand-up ad hoc, not at 9:45 for 15 minutes, all right? But they had to go through the SHU and the HA to get to the understanding of why and what works for them specifically. So I find SHU-HA-RI great. It's a single tool. It is not the only tool, right? And I'm sure Martin Fowler, who originally started promoting this, did not mean for this to become a process value mindset shift, but it is one way of doing things. And it is a tool for the tool belt, especially for a leader or a cultural change agent who wants to take someone on a journey. The easy way to think of SHU-HA-RI, SHU, children, 0 to 11 years old, they obey the rules, right? You are teaching them to be able to live in a life without you, right? So obey the rules of the house. 11 to 13, they start breaking those rules, right? And you've got to facilitate that learning. You have to allow them to find their boundaries, find who they are as a person. And when they reach adulthood, 18, 25, 35, at some point they will mature into a fully grown adult and they own the rules, right? They move out. It's their house. They can do what they want, right? And you have brought them through stages that allows them to be a decent, collaborative adult with values. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Mike, the Agile Coach from Surge Management. We went through the history, the definition, the agility context, and gave a quick example of what is SHU-HA-RI. Awesome. Thanks, guys.